Hi everybody, and welcome to another session of Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Blind with me, John Zoidberg, 1417. I hope you're going to enjoy the following session. Hope you're going to have fun. And since Goofuth just woke up from another night of drug-induced, dreamless sleep, he's going to need to push himself a bit to get awake. It's not an addiction yet, I would say. It's only been a few days, but it's going in that direction unless something makes him stop it, unless something actually gets to relieve him from the inner conflict he's having. The chances aren't good, because now that he's in this situation and on this planet, things have only gotten worse. See, there's this horrible heat for once. He's having constant headaches, and that's making him really, really tense. Then there's a situation with Sasha, the stowaway, and he's going to have to take care of her because he can't go back to Dantooine right now. And that's just another person he has in his mind. And then, of course, but that's not as bad. That's just a little confusing, but he's actually going used to it and likes it a lot. Are those Gizka? They're actually. Goofuth, I think, has done some research on the ship's computer and found out that Gizka are completely harmless. Absolutely harmless. They're considered vermin in some places, but they don't spread any diseases, they're not aggressive, they're absolutely harmless. So that's something he's actually comfortable with, and considering his chaotic nature, he actually likes the fact that his ship is now swarming with about a dozen of those little things. Yeah, but the drug situation, it's not looking so good. And one healthy thing, of course, would be to resolve the whole slaughter thing by, I don't know, making up for it in some way, or by fessing up to the Jedi, by going back to Dantooine and confessing and doing what Juhani did. Just repenting and trying to find his way back to the light side, but that's something he doesn't even think about. It hasn't even crossed his mind, at least not so far. Right now he wants to see what he can do with his new lightsabers. And first of all, he's going to get rid of the blue one. And he's going to take the short lightsaber and upgrade it with, well, everything else he has. Oh, also, he's going to change it to yellow. Just for a change. So both of his lightsabers are now pretty kick-ass. So let's equip them. Nope. There we go. By now, of course, you would have enough lightsabers to equip both Bastila and Juhani with an arsenal of lightsabers each, but Bastila, he won't give a lightsaber to Bastila. I don't know what would happen for him to give her a lightsaber, but I don't think it's going to happen soon. Whatever it might be. And Juhani, in his mind, she can consider herself lucky that she has any lightsaber at all. And let's get rid of this dark Jedi robe we have. She needs to prove herself in order to keep the one she has, which she still hasn't done, of course. Yeah. And I think he's actually going to put all his remaining lightsabers, or the other ones, in this compartment here. Okay, that's all, isn't it? Yes. And next order of business is actually to... oh, where is he? Zoidberg! There he is. Goofuth is getting a small supply of grenades again. By which I mean, for a change, he has some. So he doesn't want to run out of them soon again. Okay. And I think now he's ready to get out again. He hasn't really seen much of Tatooine. Wait a second. He hasn't really seen much of Tatooine, but because of this incident with the Dark Jedi, he's headed home back to the Ebon Hawk. But he's ready to go out and explore some more now that he knows what's up out there. Try to one day I'm going to learn to find my way around here. And he's going to go out and see what else the settlement has to offer and what else is up there. He's not going to venture out into the desert just yet, I think. But he's going to see if he can just get some general information over at what's going on the planet. Before we do that, he has actually been thinking about mission a lot since the incident and the assault of those 3 Dark Jedi. And he's realized that, well, there's a lot of people out to get him. First and foremost, the Sith and the Dark Jedi, and probably even more bounty hunters, now that there's a bounty on his head. He's ready to deal with that. He's not all that bothered by it. His ego is big enough, and his self-esteem, that he thinks he can deal with everything they throw at him. But he's worried about Mission, because if you remember in the last video, Mission was hurt pretty badly, and she wasn't just injured, she was really writhing in pain by something they did with the Force. And he's furious about that, for one, but he's also really worried that something might happen to her because she's in his company and in his crew. So there's not much he can do about it directly. He can equip her well, so that she can take care of herself, but basically... wait a second, everything she has is already pretty much optimal for what he can afford. The armor, the weapon... he can give her, and will give her, better energy shields. And I think he's told her to actually use them as soon as there's the slightest hint of danger, so that she'll definitely be safe. But that's not a whole lot. So he's thought about it, and he needs people to take care of her. And the only people he trusts to take care of her are Goofuth himself, Canderous, and I mean not only he trusts to take care of her for personal reasons, because he wouldn't trust Canderous in that he's paid him to take care of Mission, but he trusts him to physically and be able to take care of her and combat-wise. He wouldn't trust Bastila or Karth or the droid to take care of her. He thinks they're far too weak. He's also trusting Zalbar, but the problem with Zalbar is he doesn't have too much confidence in Zalbar's intellect. Also, he doesn't have too much trust in Zalbar's... I don't know. He's definitely trusting Zalbar to be willing and able to take care of Mission, but in his mind, he's not as capable as Canderous would be. The other person he's actually trusting to take care of Mission is Juhani. Because she's been training and he's very impressed, not by her personally, but by her combat abilities. And she's able to use the Force, so she'll be able to counter the Force attacks on Mission, should there be any. So I think what he's done is, he's, as a way of trying to start to prove herself to Goofuth, he's assigned her to be Mission's personal bodyguard. Basically that means, should they be in combat together, and should Mission go down and Juhani still be standing, then she's definitely messed up. That will be... should that happen, then Goofuth will stop putting any faith in her, and he'll basically strip her of everything she owns and then let her rot at the Ebon Hawk if he can't try to find a way to get rid of her completely. But that's what he's done so far. He's assigned Juhani to be Mission's personal bodyguard. It's complicated, of course, because Mission's either with Goofuth or she's back at the Ebon Hawk. When she's back at the Ebon Hawk, I think Goofuth will see to it that at least 2 of those 3 other people, Juhani, Zalbar or Canderous, at least 2 of those will also be back at the Ebon Hawk. So he's not going to take Canderous and Zalbar with him anymore, because that would mean that only Juhani is left to take care of Mission here. So that's one thing he did, and the other thing is, which is going to happen now, for instance, he wants to take Mission with her. He's not very pleased about this, but he does want to find her brother, and he thinks that she should be with him, because I think she's making him take her with him, and then he doesn't have the heart to say no to her. But whenever he's taking Mission with her, he's going to take one of the other 3 people he deems capable enough to take care of her with him. So in this scenario, for instance, he would never take the droid or Karth or Bastila with him. He's very confident that he himself can take care of Mission, but he'd feel better if somebody else would be there to take care of her as well. And since Juhani's new job is to be Mission's bodyguard, he's going to take her with him as well, so that she can get used to her new job. It shouldn't be too dangerous inside of the city, so she can get used to her new position as Mission's bodyguard. Alright. Good then. I think we have a few things to sell. Not really much, but... For instance... No, sell. Yeah, that we're never going to use again. The assassin pistol we're keeping, but the heavy blaster, we have enough of those. But I think that's it again. Oh, but oh, and the normal energy shields. Yeah. Now that he's gone through his stuff, he's realized that Mission is actually equipped with motion detection goggles, which of course are helping her do her job, but they're not protecting her in any way. The sonic nullifiers, on the other hand, are actually protecting her against sonic damage, so in Mission's case, and this is an exception, it's actually more important to Goofuth that she's protected than that she's good at what she does. And yeah, she's going to need that. Okay, looks a bit silly, but yeah, she's safe at least. And let's head out to Anchorhead again. Okay. I think we haven't even... Yeah, the first thing he's going to do is walk through the whole settlement and see what else is going on here. Because... Oh, okay. Yeah, let's speak to her.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
Yeah, might as well make herself useful. Oh, come on. There we go. Wait a second, did Mission... Yeah,